There is also a situation of the mesh plot. Mesh means just like the, you can say this is the kind of graph you will get here, maybe like this, and in the mesh color like these things. So just like the, you know, the mosquito net, mosquito net, you know, and you have the situation like this. This is kind of net you are going to form. Yeah. And just like if you can keep the finger inside and pull it upward, and you see this kind of scenario. Okay, so this kind of mesh plot is there. So you have the mesh. This is the grid you are getting. So it connects a series of discrete data points with a mesh. So the mesh, the command for the mesh is like this: 3D plot mesh. Here you don't require to write the three because mesh is the 3D. Okay, 3D, because you have to see the effect of the mesh. X, Y, Z. So this function creates a mesh or wireframe plot where X is the two-dimensional array. This X is the two-dimensional array because you have the X, which is the two-dimensional array, you know. So this is the, and Y is also the two-dimensional array, and Z is the, Z is also a two-dimensional array. So for every point, this is the, say, XY plane. This is the XY and XY plane. So you have the X and Y plane. So these are the points. So x1, x1, y1, x1, x2, y2, x3, y3, x4, y4, like the thing. So x and, if you see x and y, both are the two-dimensional array. Okay, the two-dimensional array, and corresponds to each point of this y. You will have the z value. So that's why this is the two-dimensional array. So this z value will says that what is the height of this grid. So according to the height, you will have the graph like this. And this also, this z also represents the color of the mesh. So according to the value of this, you will have the intensity of the color, and accordingly you will see the color also. So this serves two purpose. One is the grid height, actually mesh height. It is shows the height, and also it is corresponds to the color of the wireframe. So for x, y, two-dimensional x and two-dimensional y arrays are required for this plot can be constructed using the meshgrid function. And this is the one meshgrid function. This is the built-in function in the MATLAB. With the help of the meshgrid function, you can construct the x and y point, x and y value. X and y are the matrix, two-dimensional matrix, and these x and y are used for the mesh plot. So see, this is the syntax. You can see the syntax, mesh grid. So you have the mesh grid, x start, x increment, x end. Just like this, x start, this is the x start, this is the x end. Increment is what? By default 1. X start, sorry, y start and y end. Increment is 1 by default. Now how, once you run this command, mesh grid xy, where x is equal to this and y is equal to this. This is the x and this is the y. You can specify. If you have the specified the mesh grid x, then the same value will be for the y also. The same, if you have the same value for the y, then you can have the only x. Okay. So see the situation, how it is going to get. So generally, you have the situation like this. This is the x and this is the y. Once you save like this, 1 x, this is the x, 1 2 3. So x is here 1, this is 1. Say for example, this is 2 and this is 3. Now y points is what? Y is 10, 14. So assuming that this is the 10, then you will have the 11, then 12 and 13, and say for example 14. Now corresponds to these you have the points. So this is the 1, 1 to 3. So this is, if you go for the x-axis, this is 1, you will find 1 here. Everywhere you will find 1 here. Everywhere you will find 1. Everywhere you have found. Now here, this is the 2. So you have found 2. Everywhere you will have the 2 here. Here you have the 2. Here you have the 3. So everywhere you have the 3. Like this. And this is the 3. Everywhere you have the 3. So this is the x. This is the output of x. So x is what? How many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rows and 3 columns. So this is the x. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Same values, but how many rows? 5. So this is the x value. So this is the 2 dimension, 2D. Okay. So 5 rows and 3 columns. Now what is y? So these are the y, and these are corresponds to for the 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Here these are the 1, 2, and 3. Now see, 10 will be everywhere. So this is the 10. So this is the 10. So this is the 10. Here also you will have the 10. Here also you will have the 10. Sorry, instead of 10 you have the 11 now. 11. So you have the 11. You have the 11. Now here also you have the 11. Here you have the 12. Here also you have the 12. And here also you have the 12. Here you have the 13. Here you have the 13. And here also you have the 13. And now here you have the 14. This 14. And this is the 14. So what is the y? Y you can say 10, 10, 10. This is the first row. In the second row, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, and 12, 12, 12, 13, 14. So this is again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows and 3 columns. So you are going to get the matrix. So these are actually the points. Actually, you have created the x and y points. X and y points. So with the help of x and y, you are getting the points like this. And for corresponds to these x and y value, you are required to compute the z value with the help of some function. So this is the use of this mesh grid. Mesh grid is used for computing the two-dimensional array x and y, and these 2D arrays are used for the creation of the depth, means height of the mesh, means z value. So you can see. So see, this is the example you have. So mesh grid, if you have the minus 4 to 0, sorry, minus 4, then increment is 0.2, and then it is end is 4. So x and y value both are same range. X is also in the same range and y will also in the same range. Now this is the z value. Now one output of this mesh grid is the two-dimensional array, x and y. And corresponds to this, you will have the z value also, and this is also the two-dimensional. You are computing the z with the help of x and y. So this is what? Exponent minus 0.5 into x dot 2 and okay, y. Here see that since x is what? X is the matrix. So that's why if you just say exponent 2, then it may dimension will not consistent and it will go for the matrix multiplication. And we are not interested for the matrix multiplication. What is actually e raised to the power minus 0.5 into what? You are having the x square plus y square. So this is z value. Exponent, this is the exponent completely. And what is the exponent here? 0.5 multiplied by x square y square. And here you need dot sign because you are not going to matrix multiplication. This is the element by element square. And you are having the z value. Once you have the z value, then this is the function for plotting the mesh plot. Mesh x, y, z. So x is this, and y is this, and z is this. You have computed. Now again, remaining things are same. Title in the boldface. You are writing the mesh 3D plot. X label is boldface, which is the x, y, and z. So x, y, z. You have the label. And once you run this, then you will get the answer like this. So this is the title of this mesh. Okay, so mesh 3D plot. This is the title. So this is the title you have, and level x level, x axis level, y axis level, and z. This is the z value. Now see, according to the z value, you will have the some points are here. So this is, and z value some, and z value also determines the color. That's why you know the varies in the color. The color variation you can observe. Here is the different color. Here you have the different colors. So this is color variation is because of the z value. So z is also used for denoting the color.